is time. Good afternoon, everybody. All of one person here. Okay, it's going to be an online heavy kind of day. Hello, hello. We've got... do we have a Sophia online here? Anai online. Yes, hello. Anthony online. I see you there. Jacqueline. That's you here. Wow. Okay. There is not here yet. Melissa, not here yet. And Esmeralda is there online. Yes, peace to you as well, Esmeralda. All right. We'll start with that. Very good. I like this quote because it's a reminder to keep things simple. Right? Simpler is better than times. And I think that actually was a good thing to keep in mind today, because I'm trying to make our lives simpler with a couple of online applications. We're doing this whole remote thing, right? You all are at home, you're right here, and we've got some combination, the hybrid learning thing. Ideally, in an ideal world, everybody would be in person. We could all take notes on paper. You guys remember paper? Yeah, you do everything on paper. You work out your problems on paper. You do your answers on paper, and you turn the paper in, and then I take the paper, and I read the paper, and I grade the paper, and turn it back, right? We can't really do that anymore. You've got to have a digital option. So, I'm going to show you 3 programs designed to make your digital life easier. Okay? 2 of them are very useful, broad category tools you can use in other classes. Or maybe you have a different program that works similar that you might prefer. Maybe you're using it already. Maybe you'll try this one and you'll try another one and you'll decide to switch. That's okay. The third one is geometry specific, and we'll be making use of it in class. We'll be doing some assignments in that program later on in the year, so you'll definitely need that. All right, so without further ado, let me show you what they are and how they work. Hey, it didn't crash on me this time. Aha, it's still there. All right, so first program to make your digital life easier. Kami, K-A-M-I, is a Google Chrome extension that is a PDF editor and markup application. Oh, look, there's Melissa. Hello, Melissa. Welcome, welcome. So glad you made it. Okay, so Kami, Kami is a Google Chrome extension. If you haven't already, I highly recommend installing it on your Chromebooks there, because it lets you do all the things you wanted to do with PDFs before. So you can not just read and view the PDF, this is my picture here, you can highlight things, you can underline, you can draw, you can even type onto the PDF. Okay? And I'm actually going to switch the view here. Let me get, let's see, that one, and turn that one off. There we go. And drag it over here for the live studio audience. All right, I'm going to be operating from the PC for a moment here, because unfortunately, as great as this extension is, it doesn't work on the iPad. But it works on Chromebooks just fine. So here's what you see. With the totally free version, all right, you can open up a PDF in Kami, and then remember our security camera problem. And I sent you that other website to let you draw on it. This is better, right? Far and away. Because you don't have to deal with all that extra free site, limited features nonsense. Here it is. Here's the PDF. here's my problem. I've got my security camera here, and I want to show how far it can see, so I just go over to the, you could draw freehand, pick a color, and be like, okay, I'm going to color it green, and you can just color it. I can see all this, we can see all of this, right? But we can't see, I'll use the red here, this section, right, is blocked off. Right? And then maybe that's too imprecise. I want an actual line here. So I'm going to go to my Shapes tool, and you can insert actual shapes there, or just the lines. That's how I created these ones. You just click and drag, make a perfect straight line from here to there. Boom, done. Any color you like, you make it nice and thick, just a big block. I'm going to stick a wall right there. Bam. That looks terrible. I really messed that one up. Let me undo it. Does that one say undo? Yeah. There we go. Going like that. Or we could use the eraser tool. We can erase some of this. This is in my way. I don't like it anymore. And so all of those drawing tools are there. So for geometry problem solving, this is a great simple tool when you just need a couple of sketches on top of the picture. So you don't have to print anything out. You don't have to copy the whole diagram into your paper notebook. You can just sketch on there. However, they are limited. For more sophisticated geometry drawings, which we will be doing this year, you're going to need a different piece of software, and I'll get to that one towards the end. Right? But simple stuff to mark this up. And then, of course, you can type. Right? You have the text box tool, and you can pick your font size and color, and you can type in answers right here. And whatever color you like, use the purple one. Change the font size and all that typical font editing kinds of things right there in the box. Move it around so it lines up on the paper nicely. Okay, or you're just close to get rid of it. That works too. And the marking up is where you'll have the highlighters, and you can automatically underline some stuff like that. Fancy schmancy, okay? So, this is a go-to resource of, you're given a PDF, which I do all the time. Most of the stuff I send you will be in the form of PDFs already. I know we encountered some trouble with people trying to open up the PDF in Google Docs in order to type onto it. That doesn't work. Open it with Kami, and you can do whatever you like to it. And when you're done having your way with this thing, you can do all the same features: save, print, export, share directly if you'd like. It does seem to save your annotated file separately, so make sure you do that. You don't overwrite the original. Save it as a separate file. On the Chromebook machine, because it's cloud saving based, I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more, but you should be able to download your annotated version, retitle it with adding your name or answers or finished or something, so it's not the same as the assignment PDF, and then you can upload and attach that to your actual homework submission or classwork. That's what you'll attach there. Any questions on using Kami? Here? Okay. So, next tool I have for you today is OneNote. This is a fabulous tool from Microsoft. I myself, personally, I hate most of the Microsoft Office suite. There's almost always a better version. But there's only one OneNote. It is great for organizing your notes in a digital notebook form. I highly recommend it. Now, you have, through Corporate Work Study, you should already have a Microsoft 365 account using your Cristo Ray email. Okay? So you should be able to log in with that. Remember that Microsoft password is different from the email password. Okay? It's not a connected account. It's just an account that used that username. All right? So you should already have that account. So So you can sign in and start using OneNote. But look at what OneNote does. It lets you import pictures. It lets you import documents. It lets you screen grab. They've got a name for this tool. What do they call it? The clip and save. Right? It's like going to shop and save. Clip and save. So they have a built-in tool where you can then go to a website and say, like, I need this bit. And it'll copy that. It's like a focused screen share built right into the program. So if you don't remember the specific button combination on the Chromebook, oh, how do I take the screen capture thing? There's a button on OneNote to do it for you. And then you can add this to your notebook. Okay? It's a digital version of a paper scrapbook where you can just grab anything and stick it on there. You can, of course, type all over this and add text boxes and highlight this. There are some drawing tools as well, so you can, again, draw on top of a picture or add handwritten notes to something. If you have a touch screen device to which you like to write on and do that, I highly recommend that. It is, of course, cloud-based as everything is nowadays, so you can open your notebook on multiple devices. You can view it on your Chromebook, have it there handy, and then when you get home, you're like, oh yeah, your extra tablet, or if you have the phone with the stylus or that recognizes the stylus, you can draw on it by hand that way as well. All of that's there, and that alone makes it great. But for our purposes, the best feature is the organization. You create a notebook, okay? Say you call it math or geometry, right? Or the whole subject. And then you can create tabs within that notebook for various topics. And then within each tab, you have the individual pages. And so I would recommend, say, like create a tab for the unit, and then this page would be, Monday's notes, and then Tuesday notes, and Wednesday notes, something like that. Or if you want to go, because I broke the units into quarters, so there's only going to be 4 in the whole year. Maybe you go by a week per tab, and you have the notes. You keep that separate from the homework. Up to you exactly how you want to organize it. I will show you an example of one of my OneNote notebooks here in a second. But because it can organize things so easily, and you can link and go directly to other pages, you can have pages and sub-pages, so you can get very meticulous with your organization here. If you are a very organized person, this is an absolute godsend for you. If you're not an organized person, get there by using OneNote, okay? It will help you. It will make your life better, I promise. So that is why today's task, your assignment for the classwork today, is to create, at least start, a OneNote notebook. Okay? I want you to create one for math, create at least a page, put some content on it. Now, that content can be, you can write some notes about today, you can take a picture of your notes from days before, if you have handwritten notes of say your chapter 0 summaries from yesterday, and import those in your digital notebook. Now you have a computerized version, okay? Or if you want to, we'll get to the third program and make some cool geometry drawings. Maybe you want to make one of those and put it there. Hey, example, here's what I did. Okay? However you want to do that, your mission for today will be to create a OneNote notebook. And then all I need from you is just take a screenshot of the whole thing. So you'll have it open kind of like this where you can see your organization. It'll have your name at the top because you're logged in. Just take the whole screenshot and upload that onto Google Classroom so I can see you have made the thing. Okay? From that point on, after today, if you don't like it, you do not need to continue using it. Okay? The digital notebook is purely optional after today. I need you to try it. I promise it'll be great and wonderful, but it is more work to keep a paper notebook and a digital notebook. Just fair warning. You have to have the paper notebook because we'll be doing plenty of things that just are way easier on paper. And, big benefit, you can use the paper notebook on tests. I can't open up the digital notebook to be available on tests because if you can access your digital notebook you can access the whole internet. I don't have a way to narrow down your options there. If I knew how to do that, I would do it. But you don't get the whole internet on test, but you can have your paper notebook, which is why we'll be talking tomorrow about how to create good math notes using the Cornell note style. And we'll create over the course of the year a really good feature-filled, useful math notebook that you can flip through and find your information quick and easy. So you can use it as a reference source that you've created. You can use that on tests. So that's why you have to make the paper version. The digital one is an option, but it doesn't have to be tricky, right? You just take a picture of your paper one, upload it, boom, done. A little bit extra work, but not much. And you can add and enhance as you go. So let me turn back now to my iPad. And I will show you an example of one of my notebooks. Kobolds, oh my. So the most extensive I've used OneNote for is actually for Dungeons and Dragons. Okay? I'm a big geek that way. I play D&D. I run the D&D club. If you're interested in playing or checking it out, please let me know. But I have a notebook here that I use to organize my information. You can see I've got Dungeons and Dragons here. I've got a club organization. We've got the plot. Here's what's going to happen at the very beginning. Here's the story so far. We've got oh no, kobolds are attacking. So I have my kobold attack adventure page, and then within that I have sub-pages for each encounter. And you can see all kinds of stuff. Writing up what's going on, just text, pictures. Right? This is a part of a screen capture. I have a PDF of all of the monster stats from the game, and so I've snipped part of that and put it here so I can quick reference and I don't have to switch back and forth to different things. It's all in one place. And then you can write and draw on top of it, so I can take my pen and be like, okay, as they're fighting this guy, go ahead, red there. Marker's eyes, we can knock off the HP, and oh, he got damage, now he's only down to 3 HP, right? I can take notes here. And of course, you could use this to draw your add notes handwritten in geometry if you have a tablet or something like that. But I want you to mainly focus on the collection, right? You can build up a collection of things here. Here's pictures, right? Full maps, and just categorize. Maybe you want to organize your math notebook by categories. Say, okay, here's textbook notes, here's in-class notes, here's my homework, and have those as separate tabs. That can work too. Whatever feels like it'll work for you. And you can move things around. It is very easy to grab a page and we can rearrange them. We can say, right, we can copy it and move it over to, I want to stick this in the settings section, right? And now I've got my dwarf races page in the settings section, which doesn't seem like it belongs, but there it is, right? So that's OneNote. Fantastically useful organization tool. Any questions about using it? How to get it to work? I know fourth period, one student had a question about logging in. And that's because you should already have a Microsoft account. You have to use that one. If you didn't get one already?
No, if we do know, we have it, but like we don't know which one it is. I don't know my email or my password.
Well, the email should be your Crystal Ray email.
I put it actually in the name.
And it didn't recognize that there was an account created with that one? Okay. Send an email then to, I think, Corporate Work Study was setting them up beforehand. So email them. Let's say and say, hey, did you guys, I thought they did the whole school, because we had a school-wide thing, but maybe they only set them up for the people that were going to be doing the certification for work this year. I don't know. But that should be set up somewhere. If you can't get that to work, feel free to create a personal one. You can't create a personal Microsoft account with your school email. They won't let you do that. So if you can't log in with your school one, and you just need this assignment for today, create a personal email, use your personal email, or create another, if you don't have a personal email, create a personal email. It's not school, for other things, right? You'll need it eventually. And create a Microsoft account with that, and log in just for today so you can get the screenshot. Okay, there, I did it, and I'll never touch it again. I understand if that's the case. Other questions? All right, then. Software number 3 to make your life easier is called GeoGebra. And we get this funny name by smashing together geometry and algebra, and we get GeoGebra. It is a math-specific application. It's actually a whole suite of math applications. They have several apps here that you might make use of. One is the calculator suite. It's if you've ever used the Desmos graphing calculator before, it works very much like that one. So you can graph a lot of cool things on the computer. There's also the 3D calculator, which is just a three-dimensional grapher, and you get these cool pictures like this funky shape there. So you can play with that. Maybe in Algebra 2, you'll see more use of that in class. But that's a neat thing that's on here. But the one we're going to focus on, you might have guessed, is the Geometry app. Okay? And I actually have it installed here on the iPad. You can download and install that. And I believe it should be installed on your Chromebooks as well. Find it there with a little circle triangle icon. So this is a geometry drawing tool. It lets you create very precise, accurate geometry constructions. Okay? If I want to create a perfect line segment from here to there, it does it. All I have to do is click. Right? Maybe I don't want just a segment. I actually want the whole line to go like out to infinity and just all the way across the page. Boom, there it is. Okay? You can create circles. Very simply, click where you want the center. Click how far you want it. Maybe I want it as big as this segment. Right, so we'll go to there. I've got a nice big circle. Maybe I want to find the very middle of that segment. It can do some fancy calculations for you. Instantly construct a perpendicular bisector line, and then I can create a circle that's centered at that point and goes this big, and I've got a circle inside my circle. Right? You can create these cool drawings like the diagrams you'd find in the textbook, super fast and easy with just a few clicks. And so we're going to make use of these tools later on in the year. We'll look at these calculations and what does the perpendicular bisector mean, what's that good for, and these things. But for now, I want you to see it as an option to create better pictures. Okay? So with this, you are no longer held down by your terrible artistic skills, if that applies. Maybe you're a fantastic artist, that's never a problem. But now you don't have to worry, I've got this I gotta draw this in my notes. It's gonna be so ugly, nobody's gonna like it. Nobody has to see it. They're your notes for you. I check your notes to see that you did them. I'm not looking for anything pretty. But if you need a pretty picture, if you want a good diagram that you can refer to and rely on, you can create it here in GeoGebra. I can even go and get rid of some of this. Let's say I'm going to create a line here. And we'll whip up a quick picture. Maybe you recognize this from the textbook. I make circles on top of these intersections. Remember that section, what was it, 3 or 4 on circle art? Had all these overlapping circles. Look at that. I can create one right here. And you can see this cool flower pattern starting to emerge in there. Right? I just whipped that up. And so now you can have a perfect rendition of that neat circle pattern art project from the textbook in your notes. Of course, it'll be in your digital notes unless you decide to print this thing. Right? So you can create that. That's amazing. That's this powerful tool. Right? Again, we'll be making more use of it, learning the specific tools later in the year. For now, just focus on drawing lines and circles and polygons to create whatever image you might need for your purposes. And then from here, of course, you can save it. I recommend you log in to GeoGebra with your Cristo Ray email, create that account. That way everything gets saved and logged there, and you can pull it back up again. You could print this off or just, again, take a screenshot and then stick the screenshot in OneNote, crop it if necessary, and there it's done. It's probably the fastest, easiest way to get it there. Any questions on GeoGebra? All right, sweet deal. Then that is all the information I have for you. Once again, your task here is to go ahead and create a OneNote notebook. It doesn't have to be this filled, but maybe you'll just have a notebook, a section, a page, today's notes, and put something in it. You'll have your name at the top. If you're logged in, at least it does on the digital version. That's it. And then upload a screenshot of your created notebook for today's test. And that's it. All right, you can be done in 5 minutes, 2 minutes if you're in a hurry. Okay? So then the rest of the time, if you like this software, go ahead and continue to add to it. Maybe actually take your handwritten notes from yesterday or your typed up summaries, paste them in here, create a chapter 0 notes, and put the summaries in here. That could be a useful reference. Or if you have other work from this class, if you're missing or have any late work that you need to work on, you can use this time for that. If you have work from another class you'd like to work on, you can work on that. Just maintain productivity. No, I don't need any help right now. Thank you, Microsoft. On 40s, we got 15 minutes. I'll leave you to work on that then. That will do it for the YouTube stream. We're just working independently now. Thanks for tuning in.